Mindful Life Practice community.
It was just so cool to think that, you know, at this time last year, none of us knew each other. And now we fostered this like amazing international community, which is just the most awesome thing. Felt really connected at a time when this year was kind of not very connected. It felt disconnecting. I don't know what the right word is for that. All right. What do we need for this practice? Nothing really. Just you and your mat. I won't try to bring in any fancy props because I know not everyone has them. If you have a cushion around, if you have blocks around, feel free to integrate them wherever feels good. And we're going to bring our body down into a child's pose. So you can come onto your hands and your knees can be together or they can be apart, and then just sit your hips back on your heels and rest your forehead. And as you rest your forehead, just drop into your breath and drop into this moment. I saw this this nice thing on Instagram yesterday. I'm not going to read the whole thing that this guy said, but one thing he mentioned that stuck out to me was, you know, this Christmas probably looks different for everyone, different than what we're used to, different than how we've celebrated in the past. And the one thing he suggested was maybe to not compare to Christmases in the past and just let this be whatever it is. As I mentioned a moment before, like it's kind of amazing to think that, you know, none of us knew each other a year ago and now we're all connected. So even in the most challenging of years, something pretty beautiful came out of it. So as you're resting in this child's pose and dropping into stillness and dropping into this moment, might be an opportunity for you to kind of think of the things you are grateful for in a year that's been so tough. What good things happened or what good things came out of it. What are you grateful for? So one of the intentions in our practice is to try to be here now as best we can. And I invite you to work with the breath on the inhale, reminding yourself that you're here. On the exhale, reminding yourself now. Inhale here. Exhale now. And if your mind wanders away from this practice and this moment, you can just gently invite it back. Here, now. And let's take one more round of breath, just totally still in our child's pose. And then we're just gonna walk our hands over to the right side and invite a stretch through the left side body. And then walk your hands through center and stretch them the other way. So over to the right. And then come all the way through center. And then let's just invite a little bit of movement with our breath. So on an inhale, you can come up to a table. Nice. And then just exhale, sitting back into a child's pose. And then keep going like this. So linking your breath with your movement with your breath. And you might have arrived here in the thinking mind. But at some point, as we move through this practice, we're going to drop from the thinking mind to the feeling mind, where you're just feeling this moment and feeling the poses and feeling the practice. And then we'll just take one more of these. Nice, and then coming all the way up into a table, and this time you'll land in the table. And then we'll do something similar. So inhaling into your cow pose, and then exhale into your cat. For a moment, I forgot what the pose is called. Inhale, cow. And then exhale into your cat. I can't see Noah and Em in the screen anymore. Did they leave? Oh, there they are. I think they were a bit forced into this by my mom. There's my sister coming back. So we'll just do one more. Just kidding. I know you guys wanted to see me on Christmas. And then just come into a neutral. And now what you're going to do from this table is do some not cat stretches, I lied. Make some C shapes with the body. So it's like you're gazing over the shoulder, almost like a dog is gazing towards his tail, looking for his tail. You're just going to make these C shapes with your spine. And it's like a different way to do a lateral side bend. And then come all the way into a neutral. Leave both palms where they are, and then just extend through your right leg behind you. And just find balance on the left knee. It might feel good to tuck the left toes just to kind of support yourself, or you can keep them untucked. And then if it's possible, you might extend the opposite arm. Nice. And this is really going to involve some core strength and gazing towards the mat for some stability. I always say that if you fall, you're still a good person. So don't worry if you wobble. Take a breath in. And then can we exhale and just tap elbow to knee, and then inhale to extend. And then take a few more. 2 more. Nice, 1 more. And then inhale, lift and extend the arm, extend the leg. And now land your left palm on the mat. So both hands are on the mat. Take your left toes off the side of the mat. So you're like widening your, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got it, Lee. And then you're going to lift up just like this. Yeah, you got it. So you're reaching your right arm up, you're extending through the right leg. So this is like half moon pose or Ardha Chandrasana, but you're on your knee. So you have a little bit of a lower base, a little bit more of support. It's kind of like a nice opportunity to explore the pose with a little bit less risk involved. And then can you land the right foot and then lift all the way up, and then reverse your warrior, lifting your left arm behind you, creating space through the lateral side body. And then slowly unwind back, landing both palms on the mat. And we'll do the opposite side. So back in your table, the left leg is going to extend, lift the right arm up, I love this long class. I feel like I can do a really nice slow warm up, which is a nice way to start Christmas morning, I think. So take an inhale, stay where you are, and then exhale, elbow to knee. And then just do 3 more like this. Inhale, and then exhale. 2 more. One more. And then inhale, extend your right palm, extend your left leg, land your right palm back on the mat now, taking your right toes off the side of the mat, lifting your left arm up, finding that stable, nice, that stable variation of the half moon. And then when you're ready, land your left foot, lift up, reverse your warrior. So your left palm is on the outside of the left leg and you're reaching your right arm up behind you. And then slowly unwind, planting both palms. Nice. I think we're ready for our first down dog. Actually, let's warm up the wrists. I lied. Let's just sit back on the heels and rotate around through the wrists. Stretching through them. This is for you, Amber. And everyone else. And then let's place our palms back on the mat, spreading through the fingers. And then just tuck the toes, lift up and back to your first down dog. Let your head drop heavy. And then how would it feel to bend one knee and then bend the next, pressing out through the heels, walking out the dog. Bring your body into a neutral, bend through the knees, gaze forward, and then just step your feet up to meet your hands and bring your body into a forward fold. And can you bend the knees a lot and let your head and neck go and rock your head? No, and then give it a little wiggle, yes. And then we'll move with our breath. We're gonna take an inhale and halfway lift, fingers brush the shins, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. And then take an inhale, lift your arms all the way up. And then take your palms into heart center. Can we do 2 more of these? Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. This is upward mountain. Exhale, fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Take an exhale, lower. And then inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Hands at heart center. And then we'll do 1 more just like this. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. And then inhale, lift all the way up to stand. Circle your palms up overhead. Gather your palms at heart center. And now just lower your hands alongside your hips. Now I want you to imagine for a moment that you are 6 years old. You are one of my students. And typically when kids are 6 years old, they do whatever they want and they don't think about anyone watching them. So they might be standing in the line like this and literally don't even think about it. So I want you to take a moment and no one is looking at you. So just kind of flip and flop in whatever way suits you right now. Maybe you come up and hit the shoulders, and maybe you're doing something extremely funky. I don't know, because I'm not watching. My eyes are closed. And just do it for 3, for 2, and then 1. And now can you drop into stillness? I want you to imagine that you are like this snow globe that has been shook up and shook up and shook up, and there's snow flying everywhere. And then when you come into stillness, the snow settles and the water clears. And can you feel the clarity and contrast as the snow settles and the water clears? Take an inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower, plant the palms, step your feet back into a plank. Land your knees onto the mat. Slowly lower, elbows drawing all the way back. And then inhale to lift your heart. And then exhale to lower. And then shift your way back to a down dog. Leave your left foot where it is. We're gonna lift our right leg up towards the sky. Big breath in. And then pull your right knee in. Can you step your right foot between your palms? Step it all the way there. And then if you need to use your hand to get it in between your hands, that's okay. Yeah, you got it. Perfect, good. And then rock forward and back. Nice, and then just land onto the left knee. And let's inhale our arms up towards the sky. And now for a moment in this lunge, can you give me like the laziest lunge? And then give me the most intentional lunge. And then can you find the middle between these two polarities? So just find the middle between soft and strong. And then let's reach both arms in front of us and leave your left arm where it is. Draw your right arm back like you're opening and expanding towards that right knee. Beautiful. Yeah. And then reach your left arm forward, land your left palm on the inside of the right foot. Good. Option one, keep your right arm lifted up. Option two, right palm just lands on the sacrum. Good. And then option three, if you feel like doing a quad stretch, go for it. I just remembered that last year on Christmas, on Boxing Day, actually, I went to my sister's boxing gym with her. Do you remember that, Em? We thought it was so funny because it was Boxing Day and we were boxing, or like I thought it was funny. Anyway, it's really nice because last year I did your activity and this year you're doing my activity. And then can we release that foot if you have it and sweep both palms forward? And then you're gonna walk your fingertips back as you lengthen over the right leg. And if you have particularly stiff hamstrings, you can have your hands up on blocks. Maybe hold on to the calf. And then can you take 5 breaths? Nice. Walk your palms forward. Can you tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, firmly plant through your left palm, reach your right arm all the way up. Beautiful. And then we're going to step all the way back into a side plank. Nice. You can do whatever side plank variation you want. Nice. Holding here for 3, for 2. And then on 1, land your right palm and then move through a vinyasa flow. You can do it with your knees lifted if that's part of your practice. If you are relatively new, I'll invite you to do it with your knees down just so you build strength in the arms, and eventually you'll build up to doing it with your knees up. Breathe your left leg up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Oh my God, my doorbell's ringing. Who is dropping something off? Draw your left knee in, step the left foot between your palms. I'm sorry, I can't answer. Land onto your right knee, untuck the toes, and then lift your arms up towards the sky so that you're in Anjaneyasana here. Nice, and then can you reach your arms forward and then pull your left arm all the way back. And then reach your right palm forward, land your right palm on the inside of the left foot. So either stay here or land the palm on the sacrum, or maybe you kick the heel back and take that quad stretch. Actually, I have to tell you guys, I got a Christmas gift today. I got 2 Christmas gifts, actually. Yasser got me the Fearless Taylor Swift record, which is the coolest thing ever. And my friend got me some Starbucks cups and Starbucks sleeves. And I'll tell you why. Let's release the foot. So everyone knows I'm like battling this Starbucks problem I have. Have your fingertips forward and then lengthen through your left leg. I actually think it has to do with maybe like my childhood associations with, we lived like a couple houses away from a Starbucks, and we went there a lot, you know, on the weekends with my mom. And so, you know, I've moved all over the world, and Starbucks is like the one thing that, you know, connects me to home a little bit, but it costs me a lot of money. So my friend Nugget, who was here today, he thinks that if maybe I just make a coffee in a Starbucks cup, it might solve my problem. So for Christmas, he got me Starbucks cups. So stay tuned to how that works out. But it was very nice to get gifts when you don't expect them at all. Take one more breath. And then we'll walk the palms forward. Plant through your right palm, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, lift your left arm up, and then we'll come all the way into a side plank. And of course, my mom sent me a Christmas package from Canada about 2 months ago, and it still has not made it to Abu Dhabi. So there's that too. So thank you, Mom. Hopefully I get it before I leave. Let's land the left palm and then move through a vinyasa flow. Nice. And then bring your body all the way up to a down dog and take a few breaths. Leave your left foot where it is. Reach your right leg up, three-legged dog. This time I want you to bend through the right knee and stack the hips. And then slowly unwind with the right leg and pull the right knee in and step the right foot between the palms. Nice. And this time we're going to come all the way up into a crescent lunge. Nice. And then we're going to do a bit of movement. So you're going to land your left heel just so you're coming into a warrior one. And then on the inhale, you're going to stay in this warrior one. And then on your exhale, you're going to lengthen the right leg and reach the arms forward. And then keep moving with your breath. So inhale, generally you lift and you expand. And then exhale, you kind of contract and close down a little bit. Inhale is a bit of an extroversion and exhale is a bit of an introversion. And just move through a few more of these. Can you drift from the thinking mind into the feeling mind? Nice. And then we'll just take one more of these. Bring your body all the way up to your warrior one. Let go of movement, receive stillness. Find the middle between effort and ease. And as the body finds the middle, the mind finds the moment. Can you pull your palms together, connecting your thumbs at your heart center? And we're going to trust that the right foot will hold us as we lift off into a Virabhadrasana 1. So this is a warrior, I lied, it's not a Virabhadrasana 1, it's a Virabhadrasana 3, it's a warrior 3. And you're pressing through your right big toe and you're creating like this uppercase T with your body. So there's a length from your left heel all the way through the crown of your head. A little bit of lift through your heart. Stay for 3, stay for 2. Good. And then on 1, bend the right knee, step all the way back. Bring your body into a warrior 2. Nice. So in this pose, your hips are open towards the side. Inhale to reverse your warrior, and then exhale into your extended side angle. And then keep moving with your breath. Take one more. Nice, and then come all the way up to your warrior two. Find the middle. Isn't it funny how when we slow down, we think it's going to be a lot easier, but it actually becomes a lot harder. Lengthen through your right leg. Reach your right arm forward. And then clock your right arm alongside your right calf and lift your left arm up. So me and my sister used to be massive fans of the TV show Survivor. And when I first started yoga, I would honestly think of the show Survivor because they used to always do these challenges where it's like, hold this thing above your head for like 8 hours. And it was the only time I had ever seen people like lifting their arms up in the air for extended periods for no reason. And when my arms would start to get tired, I would think of that show. So just imagine you're on Survivor, but if your arm starts to get tired, also you're not going to lose the challenge if you put down your arm. There's no reward. Okay, if you want to play with your balance, you're going to shift weight onto your right foot and right fingertips. Nice. Oh, Em, were you out of the room when I just talked about Survivor? You missed my Survivor reference? No, you were here. Nice. Holding on to this half moon for 3. For 2, good. And then on 1, you're just going to tilt all the way up. Press both feet into the mat, and then let's bend through the knees, sit the hips back, bring your body into your Utkatasana, your chair. Nice. And now I'm gonna leave you guys here and just decide who the sole survivor is. I'll let you know. We're gonna do this for the next 60 minutes. Just kidding. Take one more breath. And then just fold your body forward. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Take an exhale, fold, plant the palms, step back. And if you would like to move through a vinyasa flow, go for it. Or you can just go back to your down dog, your choice. Now from your down dog, inhale your left leg up towards the sky. Bend through your left knee, stack the hips, reaching your left toes over towards the right. And then pull your left leg up. Draw your left knee in, step the left foot between the palms. And then we'll lift up again. Nice, you got it. Landing onto your right heel, so you're in that warrior 1. And then we're gonna integrate some movement again. So inhale, stay. And then when you exhale, hinge forward. And can you try to move like water and end like fire? Allowing this to become a moving meditation. Nice. Taking one more. And then breathe your body up. Gather your palms into your heart center. Trust that your left foot will hold you as you lift your body up to a Virabhadrasana 3. I will say it correctly this time. Nice. Staying for one more breath. And then can you step the right foot all the way back and then lift your body into a warrior 2, Vira 2. So this time your hips are facing the side of the mat. And then integrate movement with your breath. Breath in, reversing the warrior. Breath out, extended side angle. Keep going like this. Nice, maybe just moving one more. And then come all the way back up to your warrior two. Lengthen through your left leg, shorten your stance a little bit. Reach forward, clock your left arm alongside your left leg, reach your right arm up. Nice, yeah, you got it. Perfect, Noah. And then can you shift weight possibly onto your left foot and left fingertips? And then reach. Nice, your right leg behind you, you got it. Nice, got some really strong half moons here. Take one more breath. And then can you come up to stand and land your right foot and then lift your arms up. You're in your strong Utkatasana in your chair. Feeling a little bit of fire in your legs. Remember that the best thing about this is realizing that you're stronger and you're more persistent and you're more patient than you thought you were. You're holding these uncomfortable shapes, being like, I hate this, I hate this. But it too shall pass, like everything in life. So take one more breath. And then lift up to stand, gather your palms in heart center, feel the clarity and contrast. Let go of effort, receive ease. Take some deep breaths. All right, you have one more balancing pose. Actually, let's do two more. So the first one we're gonna do is Garudasana or eagle pose. And you might just cross your right thigh over the left and then open your arms. And then you're gonna cross at your upper arms, okay? Grip your opposite shoulders. And then potentially you might weave the arms together and high five them. Yeah, good. Nice, maybe tucking your toes. Holding back here. So this is a bind. A bind in yoga is when you wrap a couple of body parts together in order to create some restriction to stretch, or what would be the other reason? Yeah, restriction or stretching. And then the beauty in binds is the freedom you feel when you release them. So take one more breath. And then can you unwind everything, land the right foot, sweep your arms upward, gather your palms at heart center, thumbs connect to your heartbeat. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, one more Garudasana, one more eagle. Right foot is your standing leg, left foot crosses. Lift your arms up, and then either just wrap the upper arms together, grip the shoulders, or weave the forearms together. I literally learned this year that these are your forearms. I've been calling upper arms forearms for 6 years of teaching yoga, and no one has ever corrected me. Maybe they were all just confused. Anyway, I learned that this year. I think I learned it when I was reading. I think I learned it when I was making my yoga teacher training manual. Take a couple more breaths. Getting uncomfortable, knowing that if you fall, it is okay. You have to fall before you can fly or succeed at anything. Take one more breath. And then sweep everything upwards, and then draw energy inwards. And then feel how it feels to have 2 feet supporting you and connecting you to the earth. 2 feet planted and rooted. Okay, one more pose. Leave your right foot. Come onto your left toes. Land your left foot on the inside of the right ankle or the shin, or maybe up on the thigh, placing your palms at heart center, or really doing whatever you want. Know that I give all of these variations, but there's no hierarchy. Like it's not level 1, level 2, level 3. And I try to avoid those words as much as I can, because what works for one body will not work or work differently for another body. I would never want you to go into a class and judge your practice based on a comparison that doesn't mean anything. So just choose what works for you. Take one more breath. And then we'll switch it up. So your left foot is planted. Right foot comes on the inside of the left leg. Settle your gaze. Nice. Take one more breath. And then land your right foot. Just come to the front of your mat. All right, we're good for some yin time. Take a breath in, reach arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Take an exhale to lower. Let's come into a plank. I lied, we're not gonna get to yin right away. We're just gonna do a plank for a moment because I realized that I haven't made you guys do any planks yet today. I took a yoga class with this Instagram famous yoga teacher called Ashley Galvin. And I remember she made us do like 1 billion planks. And she said that if you want to get strong, you should do a lot of planks. Always remember that. So we're going to plank it out. Just hold it for 5. You can lower your knees. 4, 3, nice work. 2, and then on 1, just land the knees. Slowly lower. And let's move through 3 back bends. Okay, so first one, hands alongside your hips. Take an inhale, lift your heart, lift your legs. You're flying in this superhero pose. Feel that your pelvis is heavy and your belly is light. And your core and your back muscles are supporting you here. The most common misalignment I see is people looking straight up. See if you can just look down towards the earth, and that's gonna make your neck in line with the whole rest of your spine. And just hold here for 5. You got this. 4, 3, 2, and then 1 lower, land a cheek. And then we are going to interlace the palms. And if your shoulders feel a bit too tight, you can always just go back to the option with your arms alongside your hips, okay? But if it's possible, interlacing your palms, lifting your heart. Nice. Yeah, you got it. Beautiful. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, nice work. And then 1, lower down and rest the cheek. All right, so for the last one, you can do option 1, option 2, or you might kick your heels towards your bottom, grip your palms to your ankles, and then lift at your heart. Nice. Good. Nice. Staying here for 3. Good. For 2. And then 1 to lower. And then just rock your feet back and forth.
So we're going to start to transition into our yin poses, which are some long holding stretches. So you're going to come into neutral and then just place your palms under your shoulders, lift all the way up. And then bring your body back into child's pose, Balasana, which is what we started our practice with today. And I invite you, as you land in this pose, to just kind of take note of this process, this experience, and notice how you're feeling midway through the practice. Have you had that moment of letting go of movement and receiving stillness? You dropped from your thinking mind to your feeling mind. If you're like, what is Alex talking about? Just notice how you're feeling in this moment. That's all good. We're going to remain in our child's pose for about 3 minutes. Just allowing the breath to come into the parasympathetic nervous system. And allow the mind to quiet a little bit. So I think this year it was common for people to really hold on to the things that we were missing or the things that were different. You know, not having Halloween or not having Christmas as expected or not having holidays or visits. At the beginning of the practice, I invited you to see if you can shift the focus instead of, you know, looking at the losses of this year, maybe looking at the little things that you might be grateful for despite it. Maybe revisiting those things that you thought of at the start of the practice. And let's take one more breath in this child's pose. And then we're going to move into a hip opening shape. So I want to give a few different variations. So you're going to roll up to seated and just watch for a moment. So these are the different variations that you can do of this pose. I'm going to show you thread the needle and pigeon. So if you're someone with knee injuries or tight hips, this is an option called thread the needle. You're going to leave your left foot. You're going to lift your right leg up, cross your right ankle on your right thigh, push your palm into your right thigh, and then stay here or lift off and interlace the palms on the thigh or the shin. Okay, so that is the option 1. And then option 2, if it feels accessible for you this morning, you might draw your right knee in and lay your right shin across the width of the mat and wiggle your left knee back. And then come onto your elbows. Yeah, perfect. Good. Nice. So I have my my sand timer. I'm going to get going for us for 3 minutes so that I don't keep you guys here forever while I talk. So the hips are often thought of as this like emotional junk drawer. Where we hold a lot of our stuff. A lot of our emotions, a lot of our stress. And so when we physically start to lean into these spaces, we might have like emotions or memories or kind of thoughts coming up. I know I myself cried the first time I did this pose. So just allow yourself to be present with the emotions. I think there is this common misconception that, you know, people who practice yoga are supposed to be calm and happy all the time. No, that is not the truth. Mindfulness is about having concentration on focus on, you know, what's happening in the moment, whether it's grief, whether it's anger, whether it is sadness, whether it's calmness, whether it's joy. The human experience is about having all of these emotions, but mindfulness is bringing our awareness to it and identifying it and accepting it rather than putting it inside this container and never looking at it. Nice, let's stay in that hip opening shape for just a few more breaths. You're doing awesome. And then we'll just come up out of it. And then in between that shape, I'm going to invite you to take what's called a rebound. So you could do seated, you could lie on your back, you could lie on your belly. Just anything that will give you a moment to process the difference on the right side compared to the left. And then we'll move into the opposite side. So either coming onto your back and doing that thread the needle variation, or you might lift your left leg up and then thread the left leg under. And by the way, if anyone didn't know this was 90 minutes, if anyone has like a turkey to get to, please feel free to leave. Don't feel obliged. Nice. We're gonna come down into whichever variation of this pose you're taking. So if you're on your back threading the needle, and I'll demonstrate that version again. So you have your right foot and then your left ankle crossing. And know that this is totally like, everyone is different. I know men in particular, it's a bit more difficult. Also, if you're a runner, if you are a cyclist, it can be harder to do this variation, or if you just have some kind of knee injury. See if you can be mindful to the sensations. And there is a difference between discomfort and pain. So if something is uncomfortable, it's an opportunity for you to become strong and say, you know, I can deal with this discomfort. I can deal with this boredom. I can deal with this frustration. But if something is painful, it's kind of a skill you learn in yoga to become mindful around that. And your body will communicate to you when it needs you to back off. And we're developing mindfulness to kind of listen to that. Just a couple more breaths. You got it. Nice, and then come all the way back up. Again, bringing yourself to a rebound just for a moment, taking a few breaths. You heading off, Lee? Bye, Merry Christmas. All right, so we just did a hip flexing stretch. So we're gonna do a quadricep stretch next. And this is called half saddle pose. Okay, so what you're gonna do is spread your left calf to the side, and you can sit your hips down on the inside of your sole of foot, and then lengthen through your right leg. I'm just going to rotate so you guys can see what I'm doing. So your right leg is extended and your left side is your left foot is on the outside of your bottom. Good. Okay. So you can either just be here. If this is too much for your quad, by the way, you can be sitting up on like a block or a book, or you can quad stretch on your back. Is everyone okay like this? Sitting like this? Yeah. Okay. So if you would like a deeper variation, you might come down onto your elbows and maybe all the way onto your back. I'm going to flip the timer. Again, being mindful of the fact that you will be here for 3 minutes. So choose a pose that is sustainable. I was talking in my yoga class yesterday. I was talking about how I did this private yoga class with one of my Emirati clients, and she does the private yoga sessions on Zoom with her camera off because she wears a hijab, and so she wouldn't want her hair to be seen on camera. Anyway, we did this pose, and she keeps herself off of mute so I can hear her, and she's literally just screaming. And I was freaking out. I was like, what's going on? And she said, you know, if I go all the way down, you're not here, who's gonna pick me back up? So obviously you guys are all on mute and I'm not there. So be mindful of the edge, that it works for you. And if it's way too much to go back onto your back, then don't worry about it. It's not important. You can be sitting up, you can be on your elbows. Nice, just stay there for a few more breaths. I lied, the sand timer isn't accurate with my estimation. I think it's a few more breaths more. And then just come all the way up. Let's uncross the leg. And then just bring your body into a crisscross. Allowing yourself that rebound. And then we'll switch. So it's going to be your left leg extended now. And then your right knee is back and your bottom is on the mat or maybe up on a block. And you might stay upright, or you might come down. This is our last challenging pose. Being mindful that one side might be completely different from the next. I said last night that you guys are all unmute, so you're all muted. So unlike my client who I could hear screaming, can't hear you guys. So just be aware of kind of your own personal edge. After this, we're going to do a little neck stretch and then a little pranayama and then Shavasana. All the people that took Christmas yoga pictures, you'll have to send them to me because I don't have any. Looks like we're about halfway done, judging by the sand. Just take 3 more breaths. And then come up onto your elbows, up onto your hands. Nice, uncross the leg. Just kind of moving in any way that works. And then I'm just gonna come closer to the camera, a little bit closer so I'm near you guys. So we're gonna do a neck stretch for 2 minutes. Actually, I need my 2-minute timer. And then a little bit of pranayama and then Shavasana, okay? So come onto your cushion. Drop your right earlobe down towards your right shoulder. Take your right palm onto the side of your skull. your head all the way back up through center. Feel the difference from left side compared to right. And then we're going to drop the left earlobe down towards the left shoulder and land the left palm. And stretch through the right side of the neck. Oh yeah, I need to flip my timer. And so if there is tension, major tension, hot spots in the body, number one is the hips, number two is this, especially for women. Carry a lot of our stress here. So whatever stresses are bubbling up, see if you can breathe into them and be with them. Acknowledge their existence. Not much longer, a few more breaths. And then can you bring your head all the way up and then just let it balance on both shoulders? Take your right hand, this is my favorite pranayama practice. You're going to use your right thumb and your right, whatever this finger is called, index finger. Place your peace fingers on your third eye, so the space between your eyebrows. You're going to plug your right nostril with your right thumb and inhale with your left nostril. And then plug your left nostril, exhale through your right nostril. Inhale through your right. Exhale through your left. Now, if this idea of restricting your breath is not working for you, feel free to just release your hand and visualize it. Okay, it's not an obligation. But if exploring restricting your breath feels suitable, then go for it. And what this is going to do is bring into balance our Ida and our Pingala. So our nadis, which are our energy channels. We have the yin, which is more cooling, and the yang, which is more heating. And then just release your hand and take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. So you're gonna make your way onto your back now. Coming into your final resting pose, which is your Shavasana. If any last little movements would feel nice, feel free to take them. And if any other pose would be suitable, or if you need a blankie or anything to keep you warm, just set yourself up for a really restful pose. Allowing it to be a container. I just want to share with you a Rupi Kaur poem that is one of my favorites, and I think it would resonate with a lot of people in 2020. It has been one of the greatest and most difficult years of my life. I learned that everything is temporary. Moments, feelings, people, flowers. I learned that love is about giving everything and letting it hurt. I learned vulnerability is always the right choice because it's easy to be cold in a world that makes it so difficult to remain soft. I learned all things come in twos. Life and death, pain and joy, salt and sugar, me and you. It is the balance of the universe. It has been the year of hurting so bad, but living so good. Making friends out of strangers. Making strangers out of friends. Learning mint chocolate chip ice cream will fix just about everything. And for the pains it can't, there will always be my mother's arms. We must learn to focus on warm energy always. Soak our limbs in it and become better lovers to the world. For if we can't learn to be kinder to each other, how will we ever learn to be kinder to the most desperate parts of ourselves? Christmas will mean something more, and maybe this year love will appear deeper than ever before, and maybe forgiveness will ask us to call someone we love, someone we've lost, for reasons we can't quite recall. Maybe this Christmas maybe this Christmas will find us at last in a heavenly place, grateful at least for the love we've been shown in the past. Maybe this Christmas, maybe this Christmas, give your body a little bit of a wake up wiggle. Taking your knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice little hug. And then just slowly bringing your whole body up into seated with your palms at your heart center. So as we were sitting here, I just kind of had this flashback of a year ago at Christmas. I was going through a bit of a depressed episode because I had spent so much time and money trying to build the Mindful Life practice, and I literally had 2 YouTube followers. It was so defeating. And I just had a flashback, and I just got a little teary thinking of like how much things can change in a year and how much all of these people that I never even knew a year ago are so important to me now. So thank you for coming into this and creating this circle and this community that means so much. So much. And we close with our intention. Ancient intention, but the original intention. Passed from heart to heart through thousands of years. And it's that our practice remains steady, and our efforts remain continuous, and our yoga serves and benefits all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe, happy, healthy, free, and may the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. So we're going to finish our practice with a shared Om sound together. We're going to inhale, exhale. Inhale through to make the Om. Okay, so take a big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Thank you so much for sharing this space and this practice, the light in me. It sees and it honors the light in you. Merry Christmas. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. It meant so